So Super Fantasy Kingdom has been out in early access for about 6 months now, and the game has gone through enough changes that it's worth actually sitting down and going through what the game is, what has changed, what has improved, and where the game still falls short, because it does fall short in some ways, and we will get to that. So very quickly, for the people not familiar with this game, the basic idea is this: you are rebuilding a kingdom during the day and watching monsters attack your gates at night, while your recruited units fight them off automatically. You don't control the combat directly, but you do set everything up beforehand. So think of it like setting up a trap, and then watching if it works. Now what makes this stand out, I hear you ask? Well, it's essentially that the city building and the combat actually feed into each other in a real way, because you need food to level up your units, wood to build siege weapons, gold to hire fighters. So your city is not just a decoration, and that loop is genuinely satisfying when it clicks. Now the game has changed quite a bit since it first came out. The developers have put out dozens of patches. When the game launched, there were 2 playable kingdoms, humans and undead. These were linked together in a way that forced you to play both to progress. A lot of people did not like this, especially if they preferred one side over the other. So the developer took that feedback seriously, and in patch 13 made the undead kingdom fully optional. You can now unlock units from both sides just by playing whichever kingdom you want. This was a big quality of life change. The food system also got a proper rework. Before, whether your units ate fish or meat each night was somewhat random, which was a bit annoying, since the food directly affects how your units grow. Now the game prioritizes fish and fresh ingredients over cooked meat, and you can raise the cap by upgrading your tavern. It sounds like a small thing, but it does add a real decision to make. Do you invest in your tavern earlier, or spend those resources elsewhere? There are also targeting items now. These let you tell specific units who to attack. The strongest enemy, the one without a debuff, the closest, and so on. They are brought from their own shop now, rather than showing up randomly, which keeps them from crowding out more important item decisions. The game also got an observatory building for the elf side, which speeds up production buildings. Units now clearly display their stats, and heroes can only equip items that actually match them, so you can't accidentally waste a good item on someone who can't actually use it. But most importantly, the most recent big update, patch 15. This is the largest one yet. Upgrading units used to require specific resources, but now this is done through a promotion system in the tavern, using coins. You get more freedom to build different team combinations. There is also a new spell system, 2 spells per run, 1 for combat and 1 for economy. Your hero determines your default combat spell. The final day of a run is now an endless wave, and not a fixed end, giving us a reason to keep pushing our builds. The runs are faster too, since they trimmed down combat time, and also let you skip into the tavern sooner. Now for the honest part. The strategy does get a bit shallow once you figure out what works. There is a setup that outperforms everything else, and once you land on it, a lot of runs start feeling the same. The city building tends to have the same issue. You have a fixed number of building slots, and you pretty much end up filling them in pretty much the same order every time. The game is also more incremental than it first appears, meaning that most of your progress actually comes from repeated runs, and slowly unlocking new options, instead of simply doing something clever mid-run. It can start feeling like you're just going through the motions after a while. That being said, the developer has been consistently active. Patch 15 alone reworked the progression, the upgrade flow, run length, and more based on what the community reported. If you do enjoy games where you optimize a system across multiple runs, and enjoy watching a kingdom slowly become more efficient, then this one does that well. It is not a deep strategy game in the traditional sense, but it is also not trying to be. It's more of a relaxing puzzle game that gets harder as you push for the higher scores. And 6 months in, it is noticeably better. And this sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.